Hi, everyone. Welcome to day 2 of the 3-day live series I'm hosting this week. Shifting from survival mode to self-trust. This is day 2, so welcome to everyone who's joining live or watching on the replay. And we'll be talking about the nervous system and liberation today, how your body holds and can release stress. So really understanding the basics of how our nervous system works, how things like racialized and chronic stress affect our breath, our nervous system, and how movement and really being present can help us reclaim that sense of calm that our bodies can provide us with, right? If we understand and know that we can tap into the power to do so. So if you're joining here live, please let us know in the comments so we can say hello. If you're watching on the replay, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you're interested in content like this in the future. Marissa Price Heals on YouTube. And let's get into it. So welcome to everyone who's returning from yesterday. And those of you who are just tuning in, this is a 3-day series that I'm hosting this week as we find ourselves in very chaotic times that are intentionally trying to steal our focus, our concentration, drain our energy, and coming back into our power to self-regulate, which is something I know that I was not taught, something that I'm having to lean on my background as a social worker and also my lived experience to now educate myself and also share with my community. So our nervous systems really hold so much power that we're not taught about, right? Tapping into them to be able to reclaim our sense of inner peace, establish a calm center to be able to navigate these times that we find ourselves in is so important. So yesterday we named survival mode and released the shame around it, telling ourselves, walking ourselves through why all these systems really try to keep us in survival mode, right, as a form of control. Today we're going deeper into how our bodies hold stress and what liberation looks like in our nervous systems. So if you're watching live or on the replay, it's going to take time for a breathwork exercise, quick, right here. It'll be 4 counts in, 4 counts out, and we'll do this for 3 times. And again, breath work is a really great, simple, effective way to begin to regulate your nervous system when you have that initial sense of awareness that things are off, that you're starting to get into that mode, that trauma response mode, coming back into your breath through a simple breath work exercise like this can be really effective. So here, just take 4 counts in, 4 counts out. 4 counts in, 4 counts out, 4 counts in, and 4 counts out. And again, as we noticed yesterday, how you feel before you took the deep breaths and then after is so pivotal. That can give you the information you need to incorporate this as a practice into your daily life, which is how anything is changed, any behavior is adapted. Okay, so let's get into understanding the nervous system. So your nervous system is really your body's command center for safety, which is so important to recognize, particularly as Black people, right? All of the things that we encounter on a daily basis that make us feel unsafe and how that is impacting our nervous systems. It's so important to recognize, right? So when our nervous systems sense danger, physical, emotional, systemic, they shift into protection mode, being fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, the 4 main trauma responses. And you can imagine, again, the amount of stressors that we encounter on a daily basis, how often our nervous systems are shifting into survival mode, right, without us even recognizing it, because there are so many dangers and unsafe spaces that we're in. And so the chronic activation, right, for Black women in particular, is not just one incident. It's a lifetime of microaggressions, misogynoir, overwork, generational survival strategies, and expectations often to be strong, no matter how we're actually feeling inside. And so the more space that you can give yourself to feel, to check in with the emotions that are coming up, to breathe, to be your own safe space, you are resisting your oppression, right? You're tapping into your liberation by coming back into your body. And so connecting this to our lived experience, right? Hypervigilance that we experience in meetings, public spaces where we feel unsafe, having trouble sleeping. Dr. Robin Scott on YouTube has an amazing YouTube channel. She focuses on sleep for Black women in particular. And so if you're interested, if you're experiencing insomnia, difficulty sleeping, please check out her YouTube channel. She was a speaker at our first Job Liberation Virtual Summit for Black women. And let me put it on the screen actually, Dr. Robin Scott. So please check out her channel on YouTube if you're experiencing issues sleeping with insomnia. She has so many great resources and tools that she shares. Also, feeling checked out or disconnected can also be a response of our nervous systems being in constant survival mode, right? When we're constantly in that trauma response, feeling completely checked out, dissociated, oftentimes in these environments, we kind of have to leave our bodies, right? Which is dissociation. Kind of float above our bodies, feeling like we're not even really in touch or aware with the sensations that our bodies are giving us because the environments that we're in feel so unsafe. They are unsafe. And so our nervous systems go into protective mode because they love us so much, right? And they want to protect us from the harm that we're encountering. So it can feel like you're not even in your body and you're kind of floating above it, right? You're kind of watching your body go through the motions, but you're not even really connected to what you're experiencing and what you're feeling. And so part of self-liberation is coming back into your body, right? Re-embodiment, because they want us disconnected from our bodies, because our bodies hold so much information about the truth of what we're experiencing, of the direction that we need to go in. And so even viewing that, right, re-embodiment as liberation can be a major mindset shift on your path to wellness, self-sovereignty, and self-liberation. So our liberation is nervous system work, right? Liberation is deeply personal. It's what happens in your breath, your muscles, your heart rate, when you feel safe enough to just be, as we all should feel, right? Links to racialized stress. So systemic oppression doesn't just live outside of us. It lives inside of us too, in our nervous systems, in our bodies. Something that's on my reading list, The Body Keeps a Score, right? And I always forget his name. So if someone else has read that, please let me know. But yes, it's by a doctor in Europe who wrote this book. But it's so important for us to realize that the impact of trauma and what we encounter on a daily basis really does live within our bodies. And so healing starts in the body, which is such a different take, right? From Western healing modalities, even being educated formally as a social worker. This is new, right? It's taking from ancestral wisdom, but in our modern day sense, it's a new way of viewing wellness and healing to really start with the body. But when we practice things like regulation, we teach our bodies they don't have to stay in emergency mode forever because we were never meant to stay in survival mode every single day. Our nervous system's being activated, right? This is severe. This results in, right, truncated life expectancies. It's really that serious, right? And so if you can carve out the space, recognizing that it's not going to be given to you within the society, but you can still carve it out to breathe, right? To incorporate these wellness practices, to shift from survival mode to a place of calm in the moments that you're able to, that you have the power over that no matter what is happening externally. That can be a huge point of identifying places for liberation. So yes. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Yes. Bessel van der Kolk. I always forget his name. I appreciate this, Gerard. Thank you so much. Yes. The Body Keeps a Score. Much appreciated. Okay. So let's get into a mini practice for release. Okay, so wherever you are, finding a comfortable upright seat if you're able to, with your feet grounded. Allowing your hands to rest gently on your lap, your thighs, wherever feels comfortable. Take a deep, slow inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth with a soft sigh, letting your shoulders drop. And we're going to go through gentle shoulder rolls here. And again, these are exercises that you can do when you feel your nervous system becoming activated. Just doing these exercises to get back into your body as we lean into re-embodiment for liberation can be a major shift towards your wellness, right? So gentle shoulder rolls. On your next inhale, lifting your shoulders up towards your ears. And as you exhale, roll them back and down, creating a slow, smooth circle. Repeating this movement 3 to 4 times, letting each roll be a little slower and softer than the last, right? So gentle shoulder rolls to get back into your body, to reawaken your sense of awareness, because again, many of us are dissociated from our bodies when we're in unsafe environments day after day. And so getting back into your body so that it can give you the information that you need, that it's trying to send you, can be a source of liberation. So just continuing to roll your shoulders as an exercise, right? And then now reversing the direction, inhaling as the shoulders rise, rolling them forward and down on the exhale. Notice any space or warmth this movement creates, right? And notice how you feel again, as I always say, before and after you do this exercise. That can be helpful. Okay, another exercise can be neck stretches, right? So gently tilting your neck to the right, ear moving towards your shoulder, breathing into the stretch along the side of your neck, right? You can rest your neck on your shoulder if it feels comfortable, or you can just leave it there. Inviting in softness and then holding for 2 to 3 breaths. And it doesn't have to be strenuous, right? None of these things have to be strenuous. They're just gentle movements that you invite in. I think we're taught that things like nervous system regulation coming back into our bodies, it has to be really forceful, right? But it doesn't, right? And it shouldn't be, actually, when you're first starting out. It should be gentle. You should be giving your body the things that it needs to reawaken gently, right? Easing into this is so important. And the same on the other side, right? Gently tilting your neck towards your shoulder, resting there if it feels comfortable. 2 to 3 breaths here. And then notice how you feel. Inviting in movement. We tend to hold a lot of tension in our necks, in our shoulders, right? So the more that you're able to do, as we did, shoulder rolls, neck stretches, if you hold tension in your jaw, right? Just softening the muscles in your jaw can be helpful as well. Noticing where you hold tension is so important, because then you're able to direct your energy towards those places to release it. And so as we did those exercises, again, you can incorporate these into your daily practice. Shoulder rolls, neck stretches, jaw release if you hold tension in your jaw. But here, just ending with a few deep breaths. Inhaling for 4. Exhaling for 4. And one more time, inhaling for 4. Exhaling for 4. Okay, so that is our practice for today. I do want to remind you that Regulate to Reclaim, my 4-week nervous system healing journey for sensitive Black women, is open for enrollment. So let me share my screen right here. And it's always a guess if this works, but I think I got it. There we go. Yes. So if you're interested in joining us starting this Sunday, let me put the link in the chat. It's also scrolling here on the screen. And so we meet every Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. And the sessions are also recorded. They're 90-minute sessions each week over a period of 4 weeks. We'll be on Zoom. Again, they will be recorded if you can't attend live. But if your body has been bracing, as we talked about, for way too long, and you're feeling the need to learn how to exhale, again, as I've shared, so many of us are not taught this. This is something I'm just now integrating with my lived experience, my experience, my professional experience as a social worker, my academic experience, right? In learning that we have the power to self-regulate our nervous systems through things like breath work, somatic practices. As we find ourselves in unsafe environments, right, we can always tap into the power of our bodies to create a safe place internally, which is so key now. And so that is the focus of this program that I'm launching. I'm so excited about. I put a lot of work into this. So if you would like to join us, enrollment is open. We start this Sunday, August 17th, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Let me provide you with, yes, so there is sliding scale pricing available if you are interested in it. You'll learn gentle, practical tools to regulate your nervous system and reduce stress in real time. Understand how urgency, overthinking, and shutdown aren't flaws, they're survival responses. So even shifting from that, as we talked about yesterday, that you don't need to blame yourself, that there is no level of shame that you need to take on, because these systems are literally forcing us into this survival mode that so many of us are in, through creating false sense of urgency, forcing us to overthink, right? Creating the conditions for hypervigilance. And so we see the links between what we're experiencing in our bodies, right? And what the systems are literally creating the conditions for this to exist. But also recognizing that we have the power to tap in internally to the ability of our nervous systems that we come equipped with to self-regulate, that we're not taught, right? Intentionally, this information is withheld from us. So yes, if you like to scroll on this landing page, it's linked in the description as well as in the chat if you're here live. But check this out. Join us if you're interested. We start on Sunday, and you can always reach out to me, hello@marissaprice.me, with any questions. Let me take this off the screen. I also created a 5-step guide, if you're interested in that, to regulate your nervous system and reclaim your calm, which is free, that you can download here. It's also in the description section on YouTube. And there is the link. But with that, I want to thank y'all so much for being here on day 2 as we move from survival mode to self-trust. And tomorrow will be the final day of the live series at the same time, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. And I want to thank y'all so much if you're here live, watching on the replay. Thank you as always. I appreciate your support. And I think that's all on my notes. Let me just scroll through one more time to make sure. Yeah, I think that is it. So I hope that these tools that I'm providing us with collectively are helpful as we navigate, as I said, a very chaotic environment that is intentionally trying to steer us off course, right, of our wellness, of our well-being. Yes, and the more that you can stay grounded with nervous system healing practices that are accessible to you through re-embodiment practices, the exercise that we went through today, it can be really helpful to stay grounded and centered in your well-being, in the truth, right? As we see so many forces trying to convince us that what we're seeing is not true. It can really help you to become your own safe place. So yes, I appreciate you. Thank you, Ask Beverly. Good morning. You're so welcome. Thank you for being here. But yes, I'll see y'all tomorrow at the same time, 11 a.m. Eastern. And until then, thank you so much.